Hello, everyone. This is Rhonda. I'm Rhonda. I'm from Texas, and I'm called Rhonda's Lovely Sparks. Welcome, everybody. Come on, baby, get on it. Come on, baby, get on it. Uh, uh, Hey, baby. Oh, that's Daydream. Hi, Daydream. Let me turn down my TV. What's up, Daydream 1990s? Oh, Daydream. Hello, beautiful. Hello to you. Hello to you. I'm so glad you chimed in and got my message. Lola, say what? 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 Lola, hot sauce. Hello, Tracy. I'm about to drop my mouse on the floor. I'm jumping up and down. I'm sitting on the bed. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm just a shining for y'all. I see Daydream 1990s. I see girl, girl, girl. Lola asked me where I've been. Hey, Najalista. Oh, Najalista 90s is here. Girl, Lola, I've been going through it wasn't like I quit or I gave up or I was tired. I just was tapping into some journey that was taking me somewhere else just for a moment for the reasons to I guess thrive, elevate myself, see something else. So I went into it's so good to see you all. I went into this binge watch of Nun's Mirage Pop the Balloon. And I watched like 150 of her videos, went to her playlist, and I dug in so deep watching her video that it challenged me to dig in deeper because I knew it was something more than what I had speculated. Hey, Asia, what's up? It's time to party. Come on, baby, get on it. Oh, everybody. Mwah, mwah. Kisses, kisses to everybody. Hello, beautiful. I tell you what, Lola, you was in the chat room and you're like, Rhonda, when you gonna do your live? Lola, girl, you know I can never, ever, 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 ever turn you down or turn you away or delay you. There's this just, as a matter of fact, I know, I know I did say next week. You inspired me. Tracy Lee, go new cane and doing exercises. Hello, Tracy. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love my Tracy Lee. Oh, it feels so good. I went on this journey where I was sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. And it was the first time in my life that I could have guilt free sleep. Even though my husband was, there for me and encouraging me, to get my rest. I wasn't ready to let go because I was used to a certain standard. A standard mean getting up and being in control and doing this and knowing everything. You know what I'm saying? And since I've been retired, which I think is five years, maybe 5.5 years, this year, this is the first time I've really allowed it to sink in. It's been crazy. It's the first time I allowed it to sink in. So, what I did without guilt, I just stayed in the bed and slept. And I kept asking my husband, I said, "Do you think I'm sick?" And he goes, "No, girl, you're fine, Rhonda. You're not sick." I thought, So let me catch up on the chat. Asia. Asia says, Rhonda, I'm just taking one day at a time since my mom passing. You know what, Asia? Do you know I haven't seen you in a couple of months? I've seen you, but I'm saying like I haven't been live to communicate with you directly. And you know the tone in you in the chat is seem to be better. So something's been going on that where you've elevated. It could be where you're just feeling your mom, she's just right there with you, encouraging you even more from a different, space. So, yeah, the way you wrote, usually you write like just a couple of words, which is fine, but you wrote almost two sentences. Lola says, what's going on with your channel membership? Oh my God. And Tracy Lee says, take your vitamins one day at a time for 50 plus. Yes, sir. Um, so with my channel membership, that I have to meet, I think it says 1,000 members, which I have. I have more. But I also have to reach 4,000 hours, 4,000 watch time hours. Well, YouTube took away all of my watch time hours. So I had to start over, I think, in October. Rhonda, I'm starting to get closure. I'm so happy, honey. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Asia says she's trying to get closure. And Tracy Lee said, wow, yeah. And Lola says, wait, what you have to do it again? Yeah. I mean, I have to meet now. Right now, let me look and see how many hours I have so far. Yeah. I had to not only did I have see, I thought with the hours, I thought it would keep the hours that I have vested into my channel. No, it took all of that away. So I'm going to pull up right now how many hours I have total. Um, I'm looking right now. Everybody, hello. Okay, it says my watch time hours. Okay, this is not right. It's a summary of 17.30 hours. No. Uh, 17.3. Okay, let me change this to like 90 days. Okay. Okay. So let's say 90 days is estimating 336.8 hours. Okay. So let me go to earn. I need to check this anyway. When I go to earn, okay, here I am. Okay. I had to go to the earn tablet, EARN. What it says in the last 365 days, I have 2,370 watch time hours, which is pretty really good. Okay. I have to reach 4,000 watch time hours. But my eligibility showing data since March 23, 2025, I have the subscriber number. It's just I also have to meet 4,000 watch time hours. And in shorts, you have to gain 10 million hours for shorts. So I don't need that. Because I'm not just a channel with just shorts. So my bread and butter is my movies, and which is I'm gonna have that coming back too. So I really thank you all for being patient. And the reason why they suspended my monetization, it says reused content, and it says content is not clearly an original creation of this channel and may have been repurposed from another source without adding significant original commentary. substantive modifications or educational or entertainment value. Well, if you notice, when I've started doing my new movies, I started putting my face more, into my content, and doing a little bit more reviews and doing that. So that's not bad. I was really surprised to see myself at 2,375 watch time hours. That's pretty great. Uh, so Andre's in the living room. Y'all, Andre bought we already have a pellet cat litter. Coyote! Hello, baby. Hello, baby. So we have a pine pellet system. It's the pine pellets that you see in horse barns, okay, or goat barns. They're pine pellets. It's little pellets. So we don't use the clay cat litter. We use a pine pellet system. So glad to see everybody here. Oh my god. Um, so we made our own box. Andre found a better system a couple of weeks ago. It's stainless steel. It has the holes in it like a filter, like a strainer. It's a filtration system where you shake it, and the powder, when they wet, the wet goes to the bottom, and it sifts really well, and it keeps it from collecting on top. So it's a proper system. So he's in there putting that together. He's assembling it. The second one. We have two because we have five cats. So he bought one last week. He tried it, he loved it. So he bought a second one. We do need two because we have one that's in the bathroom, which is their suite. Oh my God, I'm so glad to see everybody. Yo, I feel so alive. Um, so that's what's going on with my channel membership, Lola. Hot sauce. Asia says, Rhonda, I'm starting to get closure. Tracy Lee says, sad. Yeah, yeah. And wait, what you have to do it again? Yeah, I have to. And I think I did share that with you. And Asia says, Lola, your Dodgers just walked it off against the Tigers. And Asia says, rookie bets. Nodulus says, today was great, Auntie. It was open toe weather today. We had tornado severe warnings today from like 2 o'clock to 8 p.m. So it was 66 degrees, where it's been like 80 degrees here, averaging. So, thank God that we didn't have any, severe weather reaction here. So we're very fortunate. Um, and then Tracy Lee says 73 degrees here in Ohio. And Lola says, Asia, that's what I'm talking about. That's right. That's my baby. She's my baby. And howdy to Coyote. What's up? I'm so giggly. And Tracy Lee Williams goes, yikes. Y'all, I haven't been in Mark's channel for a while because I told you I've been going through this thing of through dreams, and I was having a bunch of nightmares, and then the nightmares finally transitioned into, because I'm trying, reaching for something, right? So let me tell you, this is about George Foreman. Okay, the this topic, not the whole ordeal. So George Foreman passed away Friday. That Friday. Thursday, the day before, I had a horrible nightmare. It was horrible. And the nightmare, thank you so much, Asia and Tracy and everybody. The nightmare was about a black man. I don't have racist dreams, by the way, but I could tell it's a black man. You know what I'm saying? It didn't show complexion, but you can kind of tell, some things going on. You could tell it's a black man. That a black man died. And in the dream, it insinuated itself being a black man that is an ex. Well, in the dream, it didn't look like the ex sperm donor, right? But it, yeah, big foreman. Yeah. But I just went into another place right now. I'm sorry. Forgive me as I talk through this because I've never really been live to talk about it. Um, it shocked me that he succumbed. Um, but anyway, this nightmare. So the next day, Friday morning, Andre's bringing me some bottled water or something, cold bottled water in the bed. I was still in the bed, and he said, "I said, Andre, I had a bad nightmare. I mean, I was on my stomach, and I was like, Andre, I had a very bad nightmare like that. I mean, I'm just really describing it to you. What was so strange that night through the internet, I found out that he died. When I found out that he died through YouTube, I was walked in there to Andre. I said, Andre, George Foreman died. And I was out of breath. Was totally, Andre, George died. Right? I haven't been in touch with George for years. My daughter has, my daughters and her family and the grandbabies, right? Um, so it's a great possibility my daughter knew, and my daughter didn't tell me that he was sick for quite some time. I never haven't talked to my daughter in like 5 days because she's been working, but she called me today. The grandbaby's coming over, and didn't even mention it because I could tell she was grieving, you know, the day it happened. Because I called her and I said, "Did you hear George Foreman died?" She goes, "Yeah." And I don't know if my daughter just didn't want me to know because of maybe how I would respond, even though I put closure on that relationship, that friendship, relationship, business relationship years ago. Um, but I can say when I found out, I grieved. And I don't think I grieved because I love him type of thing. I grieved because I had to go through this thing in my heart. I grieved because I knew him since I was in 3rd grade. My dad used to work for him. He fed the lions and the tigers. He had 2 females and a male. And I was a little girl, and my dad would bring me over there during the summer to George Foreman Ranch. And I grew up with the George Foreman family, with George Foreman's mother. Didn't see him as being famous. He was just Grandma Nancy's son. And Grandma Nancy's son, thank you, Lola. Grandma Nancy's son, which is George's mother, was best friends with my mom. So when I grew up around it, it wasn't like, oh, he's a famous boxer or nothing, even though I knew maybe of it because he had a gym that I saw and I saw, a boxing punching bag, and stuff like that. But I didn't, of course I didn't understand the significance of it that great. Yeah, I worked for George Foreman for years. I was married to his wife's brother. So he was my brother-in-law. So, um, I grew up around it my whole life. I grew up around knowing his mother, the family, the nephews, the nieces, you see, his children. And that was because they just lived like probably 2 miles up the street, up the road. They lived just a couple of miles. So they were neighbors. So we grew up, he'd come over, we'd go over there, he'd come over our house, you know what I'm saying? And we knew the boxing crowd. So my mom, when I say the boxing crowd, it was the sparring partners. Um, And the sparring partners knew us, and his trainer, Archie Moore, would come over because George, they would probably say something like, "We're hungry. Where can we get something good to eat?" And George would send them to my mom's house. So I grew up around that. And my mother could cook. So my mother would go in there and fix some biscuits and bacon. And Andrew, you're okay? Did you fall? Okay. I heard a crash in there. Oh my God. It's horrible. He said he's okay. So I was saying I grew up around them, and they would send them down. So we always had that element, around me growing up. And later on, I think in the 90s, um, when I got a divorce, I remember when I divorced his wife's brother. He won't go in there with respect to my daughters, but we got divorced. Um, I remember I was besides myself because I was pregnant, and he just abandoned the relationship. He just quit it. So, me being a virgin when I met him and not understanding life and relationships and all this stuff, I was besides myself bawling because I understood in my family everybody was married. Grandparents were married. My everybody, my mother, father, it was like impossible. You didn't hear about divorce. A plus a betrayal and abandonment, and that grew on by finding more and more information on that later. Long story short, I remember that day in 1993. I drove over. George was in town, which we lived in George's gym where he trained for Ali. 1,000 feet from there was George Foreman's brick house. We used to live in his house when we first got married, but we wanted our privacy. And George was like, "You know what? I need a new gym. If he could just transform the gym into a house." Okay, he said, "You can have it." All right. So he had carpentry experience, and he changed the gym into a house. It was a metal building, and that's where we stayed. So, anyway, going back to abandon the relationship, I went over to George's house, shaking, couldn't drive, crying. I mean, bawling, 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 just crying. And I was crying because he didn't want to be married anymore. Found out he was fucking cousins by the dozens. Just saying, "Oh, where's my swear jar?" I can't be lighthearted about that, even though I can laugh about it now. Lola. So when I pulled up and went in George's house, George, I mean, I had so much mucus and everything. I was just bawling, and I was trying to remember what the greatest thing in my life, how he helped me. And he ended up consoling me. And he did not talk to the ex, I think, for 5 to 7 years. He didn't say that he hated him, but obviously he knew more about what he was doing. And George didn't like people just abandoning relationships. So he ended up getting me a mobile home. It's not a single mobile home. It was a single wide and a half. So it's almost a double wide. He helped me get that, and he ended up getting me a car, a Geo Metro. It was a Geo Metro that he had in the garage because I didn't have a car. And yeah, so Um, I didn't have a car, and he told my ex to give me the car that he had. It's his culture, you know what I'm saying, from the Caribbean. So, um, he ended up helping me with that. Got me a car. I used the car. I used to work for the state, and the ex was a poot head, so he took the car from me. And George was angrier about him, me getting off of work and seeing the car missing, and because that's what he did because he was bitter because George was helping me. And George ended up buying me another car. It was a Geo Metro. It was red. He said, just go and pull up, and it's a Geo Metro. He picked my car for me. He said, choose your color. And I remember that's the first time in my life that I was able to really get to the next stage of healing and overcoming abandonment um, while I was married. So that was an interesting moment I can share with you all that I had. But skipping over a whole lot of stuff and getting to the juice of the matter, George would come by my job, and people go crazy when George come around. And my boss started getting a little messy. But long story short, I was always pretty much lived on his ranch. Um, so he ended up offering me to work for him. And he said he needed help. He needed a friend. And so I never worked for him. I mean, I went to the ranch, I did some things, I was close to family. So, long story short, I said, okay. And he made some promises for some things, which really never happened when it came to monetary rewards. But I ended up being his executive assistant and worked for him during the time he was training for the fight with Michael Moore. So I was a part of all of that when George worked for HBO. He was a commentator. He did commercials for Meineke and some farm fertilizer company. And, so his office was a hot freaking mess. And I remember going to his office and staying up all night organizing it because he said he needed help organizing it. He had stacks and stacks of papers all over the office. And I would work so hard that I would sleep on the floor in his office, trying to get everything together. So that's just a little bit of my story. I put together one of his biggest summer programs and at his George Foreman Youth Community Center. And I said one day I'll take a picture of it and post it on my YouTube channel. It's in the newspaper. And there are some things that happened. And I said, I got out of that job and I said, not working for you anymore. So I knew how to close doors. And it's smart no matter who somebody is or what they do and all of that. Um, just because they're famous and just because they're close to people or whatever, and if it's something that is not agreeable to you, don't stay. You know what I'm saying? But skipping that part, just letting you know, just some shared memories about my daughter didn't tell me that he was sick all those months. And I don't know why, but I didn't ask her. And I just kept that distant because I almost lost my breath when I found out that he had died because it was the shock of it. I sure didn't expect it. And the word is not out how he died. And the family's keeping that very private, of course. I can guess, but I don't know. So anyway, that's what This YouTube channel to help going live also helps me, share that. And plus my daughter and my has lost some family members. Her her partner has lost some family members, and the family been going through it, even though luckily my husband and I haven't. Thank God, there's a time for everything, and so far it hasn't been that time for us. But we've been, doing really well. Um, and I've always said that, yeah. So here's Lola. How, Andre? And then Lola, he was fucking family, yeah. And Lola says, nasty, yeah. Asia says, Rhonda, I have a question for you. Who the most hated GM in Texas now? Jerry Jones or Nico Harris? I don't know. I really don't hang around Asia's circle of people who have that much hate. Um, I don't really know. You know, I think that I could tell you that if there are people with that kind of hate, it's people who's probably gambling and losing a lot of money. And losing a lot of money. So why are you going to do that? You're going to gamble and you're that mad? And I can understand the other emotions too. I mean, and to be honest with you, forgive me, I don't know who Nico Harris is. Oh, yes, I have not been in the loop for quite some time. Is that the Mavericks coach or something? And Najalista says, oh, okay, Mavs GM. Okay. Hmm. Najalista said, I bought a big monster, just opened it. I need to stay awake to watch your live because I missed you. Oh, I love you too. Okay, the Mavs GM. Thank you so much, Lola and Asia. If I have not been in the loop, but I think the biggest hater, I I would guess it would probably be Jerry Jones. I don't hate Jerry Jones. That's too much energy for me to put into that. No way. I don't know him, you know? But if I say the groups out there, probably Jerry Jones. Because with the Mavs, they've been making changes. They've been making advances. There's things, the people, fans are not happy about the Mavericks, but there has been some movements, going on. Jerry has been procrastinating, and people are very upset, with his procrastination and his nonchalant attitude and rubbing it in that I am the manager and I could do what I want type of attitude. And I mean, if I had to guess, it would be Jerry Jones. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? You heard about Angie Stone? Oh, yes, girl. Oh, yeah. Harris traded away Luca. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I thought Luca left. Really? Asia says Mass fan base dislikes him because he traded their franchise player. Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. I've been like I've been like in the kind of like in a bat cave, but under the bat cave. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Angie Stone. Good Lord. The things that are out there by Angie Stone. There's Roberta Flack. Lost a lot of great people. Let's see. My sunshine has gone. I'm all cried out. There's no more rain in this cloud. My sunshine has gone. No, my sunshine has come. My sunshine has come. Angie Stone song. But I'm all cried out. There's no more rain in this cloud. That's the song, y'all. So that was sad. It's a lot of things happening. Sad, especially after the Mavs was in the finals last year. I know exactly, Asia. And I hadn't been in Mark's chat room in a while. Then when I heard, I was in there probably last 20 minutes, and Mark's live today, and he said something about last week that he got upset or something when he closed out on the live because his frustrations or him being upset. And I didn't even know any of that. So I mean, I can understand why when it comes to the loss of his father-in-law, and very unfortunate things like that, and him also taking on the grief of his aging parents, and the grieving for his children, being an extra shoulder for them grieving. So Lola says Drew and someone else was talking shit about Mark and Brian channel. Oh, and I said hello to Drew today. The drama can get very thick, can it? The drama's thick. I think that's a lot of reasons why I was soul searching, like how Malcolm, yeah, she's in the clouds. That's right. Daydream says no more rain in Angie Stone's clouds. She's in the clouds. My sunshine has come. But all, but I'm all, I can't even remember the lyrics. My sunshine has come. But I'm all dried out. There's no more rain in this cloud. I remember, I think she wrote that song when the recording owner forced the man that she was in love with to end their relationship, right? That was the naked black guy on the video. They have a baby together. He's a big man now. And from D'Angelo, right? And so it sounds like the people that own her record, which is the same guy who owned, Whitney Houston's and all of them, um, played a very strong role. Played a very strong role, and let me read this Brown Sugar album. So Asia says Game Time Brian did his best telling everybody to back off Mark. Sometimes he ain't doing enough. If you're that close of a friend, then you start banning some people, even if it's for 30 days, 90 days, or forever. If you're a friend, you stand up for your friend 100%. He stood up for me, with that other thing that went on with whatever his name is. I'm glad I don't remember it. I told you I went through a lot of great rest. He stood up for Lola. Mark is loyal and he's strong. And not everybody is strong like him. But I'm the kind of person, guess what? I'll fix that. I'm not going to have, I'm going to be honest with you. If Eastside Harold came around to my live chat and of course, I took Eastside Harold's wrench from him. But when Mark said he said some disrespectful things about his wife and his daughter, then I knew if I saw Eastside Harold, he would have to go. Until he apologized to Mark. These loyal friendships are very important to people because the story is much more deeper than we realize. If you have Mark riding around, you have people coming to Mark's house, sharing that energy, eating his food. You can't stand up to anybody in a chat room for your friend. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to create drama. If I was on the phone with Game Time Brian, I said, Game Time Brian, that shit was weak. Sorry. Two curse words. God, dog. I cussed again. It's weak on his part. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to start any problems. I'm just going to keep it real. You got somebody that close to you, and you can't stand up and have the balls to say, you know what, certain Eagle fans, whoever they are, I'm not going to name them, I'm taking your wrench from you. You have to be strong because the people who are there in your space are sharing an energy, not only with you, but they're sharing energy with your family. In your car, you're traveling across the country together. You know each other's wives and children. And so I don't like that. When I'm loyal, I'm diehard loyal. That means I don't have a problem taking a bullet for you. For you. I won't. There's no second guessing that. And he's wrong for not standing strong. I wasn't there. I'm not a part of it. But I tell you what, I'm probably glad I wasn't. Because, Mark does a lot of personal things for people. I'm sure, without sharing anything, I believe he gives people money to help them when they're in distress. I believe he does. He has a big heart. And the only thing I would, if Mark was here, I would say, Mark, put some distance on a lot of people that you are seeing that's not standing up for you strong enough. Put some distance. Don't let them in your house. Don't let them around like that. My husband and I, we don't have people coming to our house. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I understand he's a content creator with, a different genre and friends and stuff, but he has other friends who are diehard, who are loyal to him. Build on that. Who would give them the shirt off their back for Mark? I know Law Nation would. I feel that guy that brings the cookies for Mark, the wife bakes the cookies for Mark, I feel he would. I feel the other guy, Rashid's, the other guy that's a cowboy fan that cusses like a sailor, I think he would. Forgot his name. Is it Rio? It's not Rio, is it? It's not Rio. Yeah. I feel that if the chef that's there, he would stand strong for Mark. Those people there, I hope I didn't leave any names out. The other guy that has a channel, he's a young guy. Forgive me if I forgot his name. But pretty much everybody who hangs around his house. DMV, that's true. E2, that's it. That's it. I feel that those guys will give the shirt off their back for Mark. I feel they'll take a bullet. I'm just saying. And Asia says, Mark did that with me. He protected you. I mean, that's how he is. When he saw certain things that was said about me and stuff, I mean, look, your true friends, and your true friends will stand strong with you. And if they're not your friend. So my husband's like, Rhonda, if there's drama going on, he doesn't mind me getting right in the middle of it. If someone calls me and talks about it, if it was Mark, I would tell him. Because if I love Mark as a friend, I'm going to be honest with him. I'm going to be honest with him. And I don't need subscribers that bad to throw a friend, to not throw a person under the bus. I'm going to throw their ass under the bus. So Asia says, Rhonda, it was an Eagles fan and a Cowboy fan. Yeah, I had someone that disrespect me and called me a B and all that. It was crazy. So I just said, well, I'm not going to buy a Cowboys room anymore, just Mark's. And to be honest with you, that's the only room that I feel safe, a chat room I feel safe around, and Law Nation. I can't really think of anyone else off top. But number one is Mark. And I feel safe as a woman. My husband feels safe that I am in Mark's chat room because he knows Mark's has the balls. He stands for something. He stands true to his convictions. He was a single father of a little girl and a little boy, and he loved his kids. How can you not love someone like that and be there to protect them, protect a man like that? We protect men like that, my husband's like that. I protect them. So no, if anybody came here talking ish about Mark, I'm not going to have it because Mark's friendship means something to me. I bought a brick, that goes in front of the red brick house there. I bought a brick in memory and, to help him raise money. I mean, when I buy a brick and I did that, that means that we're very close friends. And I'm going to cherish that friendship and I'm going to take care of it. And Lola's got a brick right next to me and Dirty Sanchez, she's right next to me and Dirty Sanchez is right there, but Lola's right next to me. She bought a brick too. And we're going to be there forever together. You see, even though I'm gone, if I earn my angel wings, you know? Uh, and then Asia says Rhonda was an Eagles fan and a Cowboys fan. I sure would like to know those names, but you don't have to put it out there because you know what? I got a great feeling. Don't tell me. Don't put it in the chat room. But it's a lot of mess. I'm not trying to be mean, but oh, okay. I got it. Okay, I see it. Oh, okay, I see it. Uh, what you do with that when that becomes anxiety and stuff? Yeah, that's true, Asia. With anxiety and stuff, it's like I had anxiety. Um, like I said, when I found out that George died, it was a shock. And I don't know if my daughter didn't tell me to keep me from being worried or stressed out. I don't know. And honestly, today it's not really important why she didn't tell me he was sick because it's not important for me to know if George was sick. I think there are things I really that we really don't need to know. And there's a certain sense of trust I still have to give my daughter to say, well, if she didn't tell me he was sick that long, okay, I really didn't need to know. It's really none of my business. It's nothing I need to really think about. And what I'm saying, the reason why I'm mentioning that to everyone here, and God rest his soul, because it did hurt me when I found out he passed away, even though I had some things that I disagreed with George Foreman about. It hurt me that he died. I just didn't expect it. It just really was hurtful. And that's because of the bond of me growing up with him as long as I knew his family and his parents, his mom and his dad and his sisters and his uncles and his cousins and nephews. And, he had someone who passed away on the ranch who died, a young nephew who fell into the pool, bumped his head and fell into the pool and drowned. I mean, there was things that was shared like family with us. And so that energy was put into that. But the reason why I mention this to you all when you're talking about Daydream, you're right about the Brown Sugar album, girl. Um, Plus, he was dealing with loss of his father, and all right. And Lola Cowboys drew words, I have to humble Mark. Who is he to say that? Drew words, I have to humble Mark. Who is he to say that? I don't know if these people are making phone calls with him and they think maybe if they're having phone conversations that they feel they can cross the line with Mark. But sometimes I think with what Mark, oh, oh, he said, I have to humble Mark. Who is he to say? Who the hell is Drew to say something like that? That's why, Mark has a lot of loyal women because we don't play. So they said statistically, there's more women that are employed in leadership positions at airports around this country than men. And I'm not trying to make this about men versus women. I'm just saying our leadership abilities is why its percentage of viewership from women are higher. And he's kind of cute too. I mean, I could be watching an ugly man. Uh, mm-mm. I can't. I just can't spend that much time watching no ugly man with a live YouTube uh, going live every. Mm-mm. It's gonna have to. I mean, yeah, I'm married. Yeah, I love my husband. Yeah, but you're gonna be staring at the screen all day, and the man is ugly as hell. I can't have that. Girl has to have. Oh, it's laughing. I'm insane. I'm not lusting for him. I respect his marriage, of course. But there's things that's not said that I will say, and he knows he's cute, and he is. What makes him? My husband's in there. What makes him cute is what he stands for. I'm just saying. So anyway, Asia Robertson said, I felt disappointed in Drew that time because Drew was the one that's come comforted me when I lost my mom. There's a lot of people out there that can say words, and a lot of it's when a person shows themselves in that way, then that's when you just have to draw some lines and put some boundaries. And if it has to be boundaries of just not saying any shout outs, showing any love, don't give people that power when they don't deserve it. I sit up there and sent a heart to Drew. I didn't know that went down. And trust me, I would have not sent that to his ass if I knew he did that. Because this doesn't seem to be the first time Drew has said some verbally abusive things. He's done it before. Oh, really? Watch last week's live? Okay, I'll look for it. I'll look for it tonight. It's unfortunate. That part, Rhonda. Right. I'll watch it tonight. But yeah, it's been, I was just I'm the kind of person when I'm really engulfed in something, channeling something, I always trust my instincts to stay with it to see where it takes me, Tracy? And I found out that's where it led me to. It led me to opening my eyes to some things I didn't see. It gave me a warning that George had passed away because that person that I had a nightmare who passed away was him. And this is not uncommon for me. I have these dreams that are very connected. They're connected with people that I've had some kind of very close bond at some point, right? very close emotional bond with at some point. And that's what that was. Um, but reason why I mention that tonight is that it's not being petty. When we're dealing with human beings, the energy, our spirit, our energy has value. And you're not to give away your spirit, spiritual energy, love, and kindness to just anybody. Don't give them your power. I mean, I know when it comes to chat, it might sound petty, but you're dealing with human beings. Yes, he's in the living room putting something together. I thought he was putting that thing together. I think he might hear me talking here. Um, he's not in the bed yet. I don't want him coming in here yet because he's going to be saying, I'm getting butt naked, getting in the shower. I say, you're just being a freak. You know, everybody can hear you, sucker, freak. Lois laughing. I haven't gut laugh like this, man. I'm gonna see if I can go live every day. I know I don't want to overpromise, but I'm gonna really try because it really helps me. And I mean, it's just something. When I heard Mark talking about that, his friends there and being around him, hell, I didn't know the drama that went down. I didn't need to know. You know, what I'm saying I really didn't need to know, but I needed to. I'm glad you all told me because I don't need to be sharing my loving energy with people who are cruel. I mean, really, energy matters. Sharing hearts and love. I love you and hi, and you're joking and mm-mm. You cross the line with any of my friends, I'm not gonna be talking to you. And that's not petty. That's being loyal. That's being loyal. Why would I want to be friends with somebody who calls me out of my name? And if I have someone who loves me, why would I want them to be friends with that person that calls me out of my name? That part. I mean, come on. Tracy Lee says, freaks in the sheet. He. Tracy Lee, you're so funny. You're so funny. Oh my goodness, everybody. Yeah, thank you for getting me updated. I know I've missed a lot, and I'm so glad you all are transparent for letting your girl know what's going on. Oh my gosh, but he just looked so relieved when I heard him saying, Mark saying words like he was so happy to see everybody's there. I was like, wow, what did I miss? What happened? And I'm sorry. Lola says, Rhonda, we know you. I know you do. I've been revealing a lot since I've been going live. Yeah, I was just trying to see where my dreams are going to take me. It reminded me, remember when, I don't know if anyone heard about Malcolm X, and I'm sure most people have. When I started respecting, let me tell you, I didn't always respect Malcolm X. When I started respecting Malcolm X is when he left the United States of America and he went overseas. And he worshiped with people of different religions. He talked to them. He learned different religions. He learned to love different races. And he came back with a huge amount of knowledge and brought it back to this country. And then he stayed true to his conviction because the leader of his Muslim group was having sex with young little girls, getting them pregnant with minors. And he really felt there's no way he could follow a man like that anymore. He came back true to his convictions, right? That means when he left and he came back, he was a new man. He was always himself, but he became a better person for leaving. I'm not saying I left my channel like that, but I really felt like I visited this Nun's Mirage lady. She's Nigerian from Abia State. She has a pop the balloon, and it was such a deeper message in her lives. It was women on there that will be in the lineup, and they would say, well, why did you pop your balloon? And she said, well, that man looked like he'll beat me for sex. It's like some deep ish. right? Very serious stuff that reminds us, um, not just because it's Africa, but because around the world, we as humans, we go through a lot of things and understand that everybody has something that's going on that I think we might have an obligation to be ready to help that person if we love them and if we know them. I think there's a certain obligation we have. I'm not saying you just give up your whole life and just jump in the water, but I'm just saying I think there we can be choosing, we can pick and choose, but I think sometimes when it gets down to it, spur of the moment, we just have a way of emergency responding as good human beings in helping our brother and sisters. And that relates back to whatever Mark went through. I'm gonna check it out. And I'm sorry he went through that. He's caring too much. I mean, I was surprised to see Mark. He was, I was looking Kayla. I was looking at Kayla. Is that Kayla Shay? His daughter's name. Because I missed something and I saw where it said she has a channel. I'm a subscriber of all three of her channels. Mark's daughter. And she was talking about our apartment spam or scams or something. I thought, well, let me check it out. And I ended up replying to her in a long comment. Y'all know me. And I heard the whole thing. And then I said, well, and then it took me to another video. And I was like, oh, look at Mark. They're building his daughter a nice, beautiful, closet space. I said, this man is everywhere. He gives a lot. So just letting you know my 2 cents. And that's just how I feel. And I don't play that. I don't like that mess going on. Well, y'all, I've been an hour and 2 minutes and 16 seconds and counting. Yeah. On my live. I'm so glad to see you all. Shout out to the beautiful babies, Najalista 90s, Daydream 1990s, and Lola Hot Sauce, my girl, and Asia Robertson, and Coyote, and of course, drum roll. Okay, drum roll. Of course, Tracy Lee Williamson. Yeah. And the crowd goes wild. Thank y'all so much for being here and loving your support, loving seeing you. My grandbaby's going to be over tomorrow. He likes calling. So he's going to be here tomorrow. So we'll see what we're going to do. I want to do some crafts and everything with my grandson. Mark has a daughter with my namesake. Oh, really? Oh, that's pretty, Asia. Let me tell you, I'm looking at you writing, Asia, and your writing even looks better. I know you're thinking, wow, you can tell how I'm writing. I'm feeling better. Yeah, I can. When I say feeling better, I'm not saying just totally cured or anything. I'm not on that level. But I'm saying just with yourself, right? Yourself. You look like you're doing better. I'm so glad to see that. I am. I love you all so much. Thank you all so much for your support. And I'll be back again. I'll be back. I'll be back. And you'll see me. Thank you again to everybody. And you'll see me soon. Oops. I haven't signed off in a long time. That wasn't smooth. Who likes horror movies? Okay. Night night. Love you. Bye bye.